We're also talking, Andy, about education. We know that our Candace Burns has been tracking the NES schools, the state takeover, and how that impacts families and staff as well.
Yeah, that's right. Candace has been talking to teachers, administrators, as well as families about these new changes, including, as you said, the new education system, or NES. Candace is live right now at Reynolds Elementary School here in Sunnyside. Candace, that's one of the campuses set to become an NES school in the fall. Is that right?
Andy and Lisa, that is right. This school behind me next year will join the growing list of new education system schools. That means teachers and students here are going to be adopting a brand new curriculum compared to what they're used to, very different. Reynolds and other schools on the Sunnyside, they are part of HISD's South Division. Take a look at this map right here. This shows you what that division looks like. According to HISD, 67 schools make up the South region. The schools highlighted on this map are already NES campuses. That's about half of the public schools in the South region. Reynolds will be added to that map next year. Now, a little background on the new education system. It was introduced at 85 HISD campuses this fall after the state took over the entire district and appointed a new superintendent and a new school board. That takeover a result of what state officials considered poor academic performance at one HISD high school. The current administration describes NES as a whole-scale, systematic reform. Superintendent Mike Miles says this model was necessary to close achievement gaps within HISD and to get students ready for the future workplace. Schools under the NES model adopt rigorous curriculum. It's fast-paced. Classrooms operate on a timer, and there are scripted lesson plans for teachers to follow. NES teachers also earn a higher salary compared to non-NES teachers. Now, while there's been a lot of support for this new model, there's also been a lot of people unhappy with all of these changes. Reynolds signed up to be on the list of NES campuses in February, but the superintendent says it was completely voluntary. The principal chose to become an NES school. And coming up at 4:30, I'll explain to you why the NES model will be implemented at this school next fall. But as I mentioned, not everybody is happy about all of these changes. In fact, today, more than 100 teachers at least 35 HISD campuses. They scheduled doctor's appointments. They called in sick. They said they wanted to raise awareness about what they call hostile learning and teaching environments in the classroom. Our Rochelle Turner is following that part of our coverage today. She joins us live from Park Place Elementary. Rochelle?
And Candace, it's important to note that we don't know the names of the schools, including this one behind me that had teachers calling out sick today. I spoke to a high school teacher. He's in his second year. He's not at an NES school, but he actually took a pay cut working as a data engineer to fulfill his passion of teaching students. He says he is fed up with the takeover. Tell me why it was so important for you to speak out.
My students' needs are going unmet. The new system as it stands now doesn't address their learning or their personal or emotional needs, and someone needs to speak up for them.
What has it been like since the takeover?
It's been horrible. Since the takeover, I've worked in a really hostile environment. I've been reprimanded publicly in front of my students.
Nicholas has been working from home in the past 3 months and misses being in the classroom with his students.
I was playing chess with my students on the last day of school after finals were over. I was called into the principal's office and then quickly escorted off campus. And this is because my principal told me I was refusing to give instruction, when in reality I was teaching my immigrant newcomer students how to play chess.
Nicholas says Mike Miles needs to be fired and the elected board of trustees needs to be restored.
And then we start funding the things that actually help students, the wraparound services, the counselors, the librarians. We go back to the fair evaluation system of teachers and administrators so that we know who's actually effective and who isn't, rather than whatever this administration says.
And Nicholas also told me that he plans to leave the district once the school year ends.
Rochelle, I know it must have taken a lot of courage for Nicholas to speak up about what he was feeling and what he was seeing. Have you heard a response from the district, or have you talked to anybody from the union?
Candace, we did reach out to the school district. We're still waiting to hear back from them. But the Houston Federation of Teachers President Jackie Anderson, she was not available for an interview today, but she basically said that it's sad that teachers have to miss out on school when being in school and with the students is the most important part of the day. But coming up at 5 o'clock, we're going to hear from more teachers who are expressing their frustration. And we're going to hear from a parent who says that some of these teachers need to give Mike Miles a chance. Reporting live in South Houston, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.
All right, Rochelle, we look forward to those reports. Thank you very much. Let's send it back over to Andy and Lisa now.
All right, a lot happening at HISD today. Our thanks to Rochelle and Candace. Thank you.